Welcome back, everyone, to Rob's Daily Classics. Happy Sunday to you. Found this 1969 Chrysler Newport for sale in Virginia Beach, Virginia, listed just 2 days ago. It's an interesting car. He's only asking $8,500 for it, only, or maybe you think it's high. We'll talk about the price. But let's go check out this big, beautiful car. I like cars like this in this price range. So, yeah, this car I found in Craigslist, of course. It's in Virginia Beach, Virginia. He's selling his 1969 Chrysler Newport. I'm the second owner, and this is currently my daily driver. Hey, I hope he's a subscriber to Daily Classics. And the mileage will go up. I have all service records going back to 1969, which is pretty cool. Car rides and drives flawlessly with absolutely no issues. I love people that say definitively there are no issues with this car. That's interesting. You know, I can find an issue, I'm sure, but you never know. It might be that flawless car. 383 big block. We'll get into that. Cold air conditioning. How about that? You know, I look at $20,000 Mercedes-Benz and well, the air conditioning doesn't work. I gotta put some extra Freon in it, which is always a BS story. You know, there's something more significant than just Freon. But here's a guy telling me that this air conditioning is working on a car that's $8,500. That's impressive. Bluetooth radio. He put in power steering, power brakes, roll-up windows. I saw. New water pump, new radiator. That's cool. Clean title. I love this car, and I put over 10,000 miles on it in less than a year. I'm selling it because I'm trying to find an older car that gets better gas mileage. This car has a 24-gallon gas tank. 10 miles to the gallon. You still go 240 miles. I mean, that's not bad. You know, price of gas is going down too. So, yeah. So let's talk about this car. In the 50s, the word Newport was definitive with cars that were hardtops. So if it was a 2-door hardtop or a 4-door hardtop in the 1950s, the Newport was a hardtop designation. And then sometime in the 1960s, they changed the word Newport to be the lower priced car on the showroom floor. So it didn't really have anything to do with the styling of the car. But 1969, what's really nice about this one is in 1969, the car came out with a completely new design, which is very pleasing. And that loop bumper is amazing. I love that bumper. It is a 2-piece bumper. We'll talk about that in a little while. But the fuselage design was this beautiful curvature here on the side body, and then it raked very significantly down to its sills. And even the windows have a little bit of a curvature in it. It's hard to see in the photos. And that helps for, well, aerodynamics, but more important, keeps wind noise out of the car as well. So, yeah, it's a good-looking car. The car looks to be original. I'm going to call original paint on this thing because just looking at, you know, how the paint has, you know, kind of faded. But I'm thinking it's the original paint, original car. And, you know, my criteria with finding cars is originality, condition, and price. This car looks very original. Condition looks very decent for what he's asking for it. And the price also isn't a bad starting point, you know, and we'll get into that. But this engine bay here looks very original. You don't see any overspray. And if he's a mechanic and he's on these cars and he drives it daily and he's got this air conditioning working, man, I got to tell you, the guy's good. He's good in my book right away. So these air conditioning units, for some reason, the Chrysler air conditioning was always like a refrigerator on the inside of these cars. This car's got the 383, and it's got the 2-barrel carburetor because it's got the single snorkel here. If it was a 4-barrel carburetor, he'd have a dual snorkel, and he'd also have dual exhaust. I can't see any photos of the exhaust, but I'm thinking this is a 2-barrel carburetor. The 2-barrel carburetor, 383, during that time, you're probably between 290, 300 horsepower in that range with the single, either Rochester or a Harley carburetor. I'm not sure what they used back in those days, but yeah, I mean, everything looks nice. A new aluminum type of radiator. That's a nice upgrade. Look at this trunk. Yeah, it might have been sprayed back here. It was sprayed back here, but maybe he did that just for the scratches and things like that. I'd be very curious. I'd like to know right away if that was the original paint. If he came back and said it was, I think the value of this car just, not that it's going to increase, but the value in my eyes as far as a buyer is better if it's the original paint, you know, especially with such a large car like this. You never know what's underneath the car if it wasn't an original paint. But look at that trunk. You can stretch to get that spare tire. Good luck. I'd break my back pulling that tire out of there. And it looks like he's got the setup for his driving. I don't know if that's a gas can, but that looks like antifreeze. But yeah, he looks to be an enthusiast. I like that. The inside of this car is huge. I mean, it's almost like a camper. It's with the big bench seat in the front. Dashboard looks great. Steering wheel looks fine. All the door panels, the headliner and all that looks original. So this is where some of the originality kicks in. I like how the car looks. The door panels doesn't look like it's been an abused car. No photos of the undercarriage, which would be nice to see, but especially being in Virginia. They got the seatbelts here, the shoulder harnesses bolted onto the headliner. Nobody ever used those, but nice to know they're there. And then, of course, that big, beautiful bumper in the front. And again, that was a two-piece bumper. What I did was I went on just to learn about this bumper a little bit. I knew it was two-piece, but I really didn't know how they did it back then. But there it is. There's the bumper. Somebody's selling this one on eBay for $550 just for a bumper. But you can see the two pieces there. So there's an upper and a lower part of the bumper, and they braze or weld them on, and then they rechrome it. So there were actually two different part numbers that you can order in the catalog when the cars were new back then. But yeah, like I said, what's nice about these cars these were unit body subframe cars, where in the oldie time days, the General Motors and Ford cars were body on frame. I don't know really the difference between the two as far as engineering goes. I think the body on frame is more rigid, but probably this car has more flexing to it. It might actually handle a little better than a body on frame car. I don't know. That's up to the aficionados that are engineers that would explain that better to me. But I like this car a lot. Now, $8,500, these are hobby cars, folks. These are cars to get you into the hobby, cars to take you to Dunkin' Donuts and take you locally shopping and start conversations with strangers, go to car shows and things like that. Will it need some work? Yeah. If it's the original paint, I'm interested. If this car was repainted, I'm less interested, I don't know if that's some rust here or some type of surface area here in the back that might need some attention. But I'm definitely in a $4,000 price point on this car, and he's asking $8,500. So we're $4,500 away from putting a deal together. But it doesn't mean that I'm not more than $4,000, but I got to go look at it, So it might be one of these cars. You look at it, you see all the documentation, you meet the owner. He takes you for a ride, and the air conditioning is blowing cold, and no rattles, and the thing is flawless, like he says in the ad. Yeah, maybe it's worth $6,500, but I don't think it's worth more than that. But I won't pass judgment on the pricing until somebody looks at this car and lets me know. But definitely in a ballpark range where it doesn't hurt you to go look at this car if you would like to get into the hobby at a low price and have some fun. And if you've been in the hobby and you just want something to go to car shows in the springtime, especially at the air conditioning works, I mean, you can actually take this on a little vacation if you wanted to. That's kind of fun. So that's what the hobby is all about. So find this car here on Craigslist, and the car can be found by just typing in 69 Chrysler Newport in Virginia Beach, actually, and this car will come popping at you. So I hope you enjoyed learning and looking at this Newport. I like this car, but I like anything in a price range under $10,000. So if you're not a subscriber to Daily Classics, please come on board. We appreciate having you as subscribers. If you have friends that love cars, please pass this video along as well, and that's how we grow. Thanks very much for joining me today. I'll be at the Detroit Auto Show for this week. I'll be posting some cars that I find there as well, just so you can see what's happening in Detroit, Motor City, with the new stuff that's in the showrooms. I kind of like the old stuff that's in that's not in the showrooms, and that's why I have Daily Classics. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you again real soon.